Right now it's 4 o'clock, 4:01 actually. I'm a little behind because I had such a great time with Craig, yeah, Shorty. But right now, I'm changing gears right now because it's important for me to bring somebody who I really respect, and I'm very, very happy to support. Okay, a good friend, a very good friend of ours, and supporter. All right, this gentleman is, his name is John SohoJohnny. Yes, John SohoJohnny, and he's been doing incredible things. He's a talented man, creative, and guess what? He's got one of the best shows coming up November 24th. And I got him right now here, but he is going to, there he is. John, my friend, how are you? Johnny,
How are you, Lewis?
look at you. You look great. You look great. I tell you, I'm very excited to welcome you here today because I've been telling everybody about the 24th of November, and I don't want to kind of lead people onto something that I may say something wrong, but I wanted to hear from you, welcome you, and thank you personally for all you what you continue to do. You're an innovator, a creator. I mean, I'm very happy to know you. So this is your latest promotion of an event that is second to none right now, happening on November 24th, Tuesday evening between 7 p.m. and 1 a.m. And it's for a charity, like you always do. We always think about everybody else. You know, I can't say enough about that because obviously is your heart speaking. You pour your soul into it, and I admire that about you. I don't care what anybody else says about you, Johnny. I love you. And how are you, my brother?
Very good, Lewis, and thank you for having me on the show today. Uh, I just want to start out by giving a shout out to you and everything you've done for the industry, especially in these difficult times here, keeping the light on in the tunnel of entertainment and giving respect and honor to many of the industry veterans of all these different genres of music that we both love and so many people love, and giving them their shot in the limelight again, especially the ones that are behind the scenes. You know, of course, the artists that we all know, and the DJ and the technicians and everything. You know, just kudos to all them, and kudos for what you're doing. So I'm a fan, and you're a champion in my eyes, and I want to thank you, especially for having this show now, because that's, as I say, a light in the tunnel. And it's so important that we outreach and
Right.
entertainment, even though I picture it as a stretched out rubber band of right now, kind of because we're all sequestered and staying at home and concerned about COVID. It's going to snap back right after things start to get to some semblance of normalcy after the vaccine and everything. But you're keeping the light on. So, again, shout out to you
Thank you.
to start the show.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
and thank you.
Thank you, Johnny.
The
I do surround myself with winners, with people with wonderful, incredible, talented, and talent and visionaries like you. And the people like that I surround myself like with people like Danny Pucciarelli and Al Magliano and Sue Bell, people that really are loyal to who what we are. Okay, and I always say something. It may be a little drastic, but if you're either with me or you're against me, because we need to really look at the full picture. This is about the integrity of who we are and what we have. And like you, I admire that because you continue the course, continue to look forward to the future, and that is exactly why I admire and respect what you do.
I thank you. I
Okay,
thank you.
all right,
But a lot of, what I've done or what I've been involved with, I mean, it's really not about me, okay? Um, there's always the place in life for business, and we have to put food on the table. That's just our society. That's the structure by which we live in.
right,
But I just, I usually tell the story a little bit about how this got started because I call myself the accidental tourist in Soho Johnny or SohoJohnny.com or what how it because I didn't really set out to do this. It was kind of like by default. Uh, I was brought up in the city. My parents were brought up in the city. I was born in Manhattan in the Big Apple in New York City. Then my parents and I mean, as a child, I used to be a nervous kid. I used to stutter. But I was a practical joker in school. I always used to want to have people, even going to
No.
grammar school, crack a smile.
Wow.
And
All
my
right.
parents said we lived in Stuyvesant Town, which is a large complex built by Metropolitan Life on 14th Street, Peter Cooper Village, I think it's called that as well, in an apartment. And then my parents had moved to where my mother's side came from, which was the Boogie Down Bronx, into the sister complex, Parkchester. And then eventually they bought a house. And when they bought a house, I was still in grammar school. I don't know, maybe fifth, sixth grade. I don't remember. And they had a garage in the backyard, and in the backyard, I guess because I was that jokester or whatever. I mean, I had somewhat of a reputation, and it's funny because the Bronx in those days was it was kind of etchy. There was a lot of gangs on the streets and a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
And, it's funny as I say that I think about today too, but
Hmm.
but back then, so I was kind of like I had a duality. I was the honor school student in school, but I also wore colors at night because not that I was a tough guy, but that was just the thing to do at the time in the boogie down Bronx.
Gotcha. All right.
But I just had the seed for entertainment,
Yeah.
I had for some reason all my friends and then people in the neighborhood used to gravitate in my parents' garage, that we had bought in
Right.
the Bronx.
Right.
And back then, I was playing rock music, and which is now classic rock music. I had a strobe light, a black light, and everything going on, and we just was having a great time. So, fast forward from that, I started doing family reunions, and you know, I was kind of like an amateur DJ, not professional DJs like a lot of your association, but I would do it, on a very casual basis and all that music. And then fast forward again. I had lost my dad in about 26 years ago to cancer, and cancer affects so many of us, as we all know. And I decided just to take some more steps up and to do more things in the name of cancer. American Cancer Society was I had dealt with several times, and I started doing shows and getting artists to perform on the shows and just raising money for cancer and I found that as I was doing that, I had so much love coming, and so many beautiful people had come to support me. I've been blessed, and I continue to remain blessed in doing that
Yes, you are.
because it just kind of taking people away from their lives, okay, and just giving them like a mini vacation for a couple hours of entertainment. I call music, as we both know, as the tie that binds us all. There's no politics, there's no diversity. It's just a common denominator where we all could get together,
Yeah.
like you do at your show, and I do what I try to do, and I try to tie it to charity in some way. And so I've had some successful shows, and we both know how much work goes into these shows. And so a lot of times
Oh
in the
boy.
beginning, you get a little bit angst in the end. You says, "Oh, my, how's it going to go? Everything's going right. I want everything to be perfect." The artists that would come to support me, I would treat them like royalty myself. I said, "You're not just working; you're my guest." And I've been fairly successful in pulling off some nice events and raising money, and just everybody just having a good time and just lay back and. It's all about that. It's all about every day is a blessing and a gift. I say.
Right.
So my last show, I guess, my last significant show, I guess, was an all-day festival that I did for American Cancer Society, which was last summer, 2019, and I pulled it off. I know we had, I know you couldn't make it, but we had
Right.
your VP Ray Pinky Velasquez was there. I believe he was, and
Mm.
we had all day fun. We had an outdoor circus tent during the day and indoor ballroom, and I had the privilege of having Denny Terrio co-hosted with me from Dance Fever back in the day, and John
Yeah.
Travolta's dance instructor from
Yeah.
Saturday Night
Yeah.
Fever, and
I'm
a whole host
surprised.
of
I'm
artists.
surprised it's still standing. Yeah. No, that's No, that it
And,
was a great show. Absolutely, I remember it well.
yeah, so we had Tavares, Heat Wave, Sharon Brown, Double Exposure, Harold Melvin's Blue Notes, Jimmy Bullhorn, Planet Patrol, Arnold Carmichael, and the list goes. Monty Rock the Third, our mutual friend as
Yeah.
well, and Constantine Maroulis, even though he was in that genre of music, classic disco, but he was, we all know him as a beautiful voice of Rock of Ages and
Yeah, but the thing is that you
Andre.
just you have an incredible amount of knowledge about from one end of the spectrum to the other, and you tackle with disco as well as the standards and everything in between, and that is the magic. That is the wonderful thing that people appreciate, and I do actually, because you know your shit, if you know what I mean. So, yeah,
I think music to me and to all of us out there, is kind of magical. Okay,
yeah,
it's a companion that takes us through life. It's a lubricant of life, makes life a little bit easier when we're going through tough times, and a little bit more joyous when we're going through great times. And I think it's music could be a time warp, a time machine for us, right? How many times do we all listen to a song that could go back 20, 30 years ago, depending on how old you are? And once you hear that song for that one instant or 30 seconds, whatever it is, you are back at that first kiss you did, or your first crush, or the first time something significant happened in your
true
life. And you're
that.
just feeling that feelings and experiencing that.
Right.
So I think it's a very important part of our existence as a population. It's very, very important as we go through tough times, no matter individual tough times or even as a population or worldwide going through things like the pandemic, which we've never done before. Um, so, another quantum jump now, I will share with the audience that with COVID, I had lost my mom to COVID, I think, as you know,
Yes.
earlier this year in May.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I always
Yeah.
attributed my mom for my seed of entertainment because she had that in her, and we always had music in the household. And I think she did. I don't know what she did, some dancing, whatever she did. I mean, probably in different times she would have climbed higher, okay, but those were different times at that time. And I attribute to my dad a sense of humility and humanity. Okay, so I was very fortunate that I had both my parents, and for that. But when I had lost her, I had founded a foundation. Okay, you don't own a foundation; it's just something that you help create. That was on its shelf. And so when I lost my mom, of course, I'm mourning. Like so many people have losses besides myself. I says, what can I do now? In her memory and everyone else's memory. Especially dealing with these trying times of having losses. And again, I turned to entertainment and charity again. But because of COVID, we couldn't, of course, do a in-person concert. It turned out to be the right call now because
Yeah.
unfortunately COVID is now taking another rise now, especially in the colder climates.
Yeah.
So we decided to do a virtual show, and we picked November 24th because it's 2 nights before Thanksgiving, and because I looked at it as a time of thanks. Because despite everything that's happening to us, for me, I always look at someone else as being less fortunate than me. There's always somebody less fortunate, and and in that ilk, uh, I did it around Thanksgiving, a time of thanks. I didn't do it the Wednesday before Thanksgiving because a lot of people may step out. It's a holiday; they're off from work the next day. So I did it that Tuesday night, November 24th, 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. 6 hours. Originally it was 4 hours, but we had too many artists to try to fit in, and that's New York time, Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be streaming. It's a free concert streamed from iConcert.tv is where it's going to be streamed from. Let me repeat that. iConcert,
Okay.
iConcert.tv.
All right.
And our foundation is called Let Me Help, Inc. The website is letmehelpinc.org,
Okay.
where people could donate. And of course, it's an appeal to raise money for causes. And the three causes, because a foundation could be more than
Yeah.
one cause: prostate cancer, COVID-related research, and and co-producing it with a great artist and producer and very talented guy, another friend, Andrew Cole, with the hashtag I am no joke, which is anti-bullying. anti-bullying
Wow.
uh, endeavor.
Yeah.
And between my whole team and good friends, John Valesco, Eileen Shapiro, and Jimmy Page, I have so many. I'm blessed to have so many people. We bandied about. It's an international accord with artists and from different parts of entertainment. Either something we have some footage of them, or they're doing shouts out, or maybe they're doing a performance. Even I am not keeping track of all of it because it's many different moving parts. And I guess I should say some of the people that are on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, we have everybody from like footage with Ozzy Osbourne and his wonderful wife Sharon, Jeff Goldblum, is wonderful with Andrew Cole and Cedric the Entertainer, Sha Na Na. We have CeCe Peniston. We have John Lodge from the Moody Blues. Rick Wakeman, I love him. He's so entertaining. And the list goes on and on. I can't remember everybody, so I have to look here
Yeah.
because I get my
Yeah.
senior moments. I
You
get
got
those brain
yourself you
floods.
yeah, you got yourself in in a tremendous list of names in here, Johnny. Yeah, I can definitely see the list is absolute. Some of them are going to be performing, and some of them are just going to be, like you said, just little bits and pieces of this and that and the other.
It's just a labor of love. This
Yeah.
is all
Mm,
donating their time and their effort for it.
yeah.
And which is so flattering for me and for my team and everything for this cause. And
I
I
don't.
have you can't put that feeling into words, okay?
Yeah, of
And
course.
it's virtual.
Of course. Of
Uh,
course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But this
but
is on, remember, ladies and gentlemen, iConcert.tv, November 24th between 7 p.m. and 1 p.m. on a Tuesday evening.
I
Absolutely
mean, we
looking
have.
forward.
I want to try to mention a few names here because I don't forget. Stephen Perkins, my buddy from Jane Addiction. We have Kenny Olson from Kid Rock, Kenny Aronoff, Leland Sklar, and the immediate family, Kenny Lee Lewis, Revolution, Will Crossan, Juliana, Rocky Kramer, um, Sadie Katz, Mickey Burns. He's a fabulous talk show host, and he has a show called Profiles. He's wonderful. He's one of my mentors. My friend Sherry Nelson, Slim Jim Phantom, Ian Gurrin, uh, Kim Sledge from Sister Sledge, and a few more that are coming on. Tommy
Yeah.
James, we know him. Remember Tommy James and the
Of
Shondells?
course, I was a young man when that Tommy James and this, he was on Roulette Records, by the way, back in the day. But one of the most, well, very important because I know this gentleman. There is going to be what are you doing up with Nino? I mean, what's up with Nino? A big shout out to Nino, by the way. A big shout out to the gentleman who you are going to have he's going to have a date with someone.
I'm sorry, the signal broke up a little bit there, Lewis. Who are
Yeah,
you referring to?
you have someone having, how can I say it? You're going to have a date plan
Oh,
with.
yes. Well, we have a lot of things going on in the Soho
Well,
Johnny
tell me
family.
about that because that's kind of it. I want a date with him. What can I tell you? No, I'm kidding.
Well, my buddy Nino, I think you have met him.
Yeah.
He's now on the single roster,
Okay.
and what we decided to do, because I know him most of my life, and I mean, I
Great
could
guy.
say this about him.
Yeah.
He's a humble guy. He wouldn't talk about himself, but he's a down to earth guy. He's got a great sense of humor. His moral compass, ethics is all there, and he's a good looking guy. And so, what we decided to do in order to raise money for the foundation is that we're auctioning off a date with Nino, and
That's a
it's going to
great.
be May
That's a
1st.
great hook.
It's
I
going to
love it. I like great hook. Okay.
It's going to be May 1st is the actual date, so we've got some time. Of course, will be announced on the charity, and it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be at one of the most reputed romantic restaurants in New York City called One If by Land, Two If by Sea,
Okay.
and we're going to have a fantastic meal there. They're going to have a chauffeur-ridden, probably a Rolls Royce,
Mm-mm.
take them to one of our Soho lofts and pepperrealestate.com, that little bit under our umbrella here.
Yeah.
And at that Soho loft, there's going to be a white tablecloth setting for a little bit after dinner drink or whatever. And we're going to have some surprise entertainers come and serenade them towards the end of the
I
night.
love.
So, so
I love the whole concept. I love it. I love it. Okay.
it, it's just listen. It's whoever the winner is. It's all for a good cause. I
Yeah.
can guarantee it's going to be a great night out and everyone's going to have a good time. And where it goes from that, who knows? But all I could just guarantee, a lot goes into it, and it's going to be fun. And we appreciate whoever the lucky winner is for their pledge to it. That's going to go towards Let Me Help Inc.
Let
So
me
that's
help inc.org. You need to go there and get involved. Please share it everywhere. Call mother, father, sister, and brother. And let me help inc.org is the website to go to and learn
That's our
about this.
foundation. And
Yeah.
if people wish to sign up for our mailing list, it should be on SohoJohnny.com for
Mm.
alerts for what's going on. SohoJohnny.com for alerts. And we've got different things going on in the camp. We have a Christmas show coming
Okay.
into the states that we're bringing into the states called Animazex, and it's going to be a metal band version of children's shows. Okay, that's coming
Interesting.
in around Christmas time. That we're going to be launching sometime soon. We have something in the works now. It's not finalized yet, but I'll drop it now here for the show. Something based on Broadway, because Broadway in Manhattan is dark now, unfortunately, still
Till
because of the
next
COVID.
June or September. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunate.
Yeah, something called Broadway Cares, which may raise money for children's education because of the cutbacks, whatever. That's in the works now. And we had signed a deal with SMC, my buddy Maurice Hamilton. And what we do with the SMC group is we find aspiring artists that are not really super A-listers yet, and we just connect them with multinational corporations where they have a chance of maybe being the next poster child for Coca-Cola, or
Right.
many of us remember, Prince Spaghetti, that the young kid that used to run
I
for Prince
remember
Spaghetti
that.
Day
Yeah.
Wednesdays when we were kids. You
Yeah. Yeah.
probably
I
you and I
remember
both.
that. Yeah.
So a lot of different things going on, and again, I mean, it's a wonderful journey. I mean, I'm really just a real estate guy with my company pepperrealestate.com, and I kind of find solutions for retailers for experiential, because the retailers hurt now, and we rent out lofts and stuff that we have as well.
Yeah.
And that kind of segues a little bit into this. But I'm blessed because I'm having a great time doing this, and I've met so many wonderful people, and we're raising money, and what can I say? I mean, the breadth of love is spoken in the language of musical expression. I always say, it's been a wonderful journey,
Well,
and
there's a lot to learn from this horrible year that we all experienced. 2020 is really a year that either you, I know that not that many people are really crazy about it, but what do you get out of that? I know that you're in on your business, real estate, and you also do productions. What's 2021 looking forward to, Johnny? What is your vision for 2021?
well, I think, as I said earlier, there's going to be a big pent up demand for entertainment and content. There's a big demand for content, for shows such as your show, right now, because people are watching the monitor a lot more than ever before. But, live concerts and live performances, or even just a show, a dinner and a show in Broadway in Manhattan, or,
Hmm.
in maybe somewhere in Florida, Delaware, wherever you go, wherever you live, there's going to be a major pent up demand. And there's a lot of the companies that are gearing up to be prepared for that are in the entertainment sector.
Yeah.
I always try to look for the silver lining in every black cloud. And, boy, we have a giant black cloud with the pandemic right now. But,
Yeah.
what I'm finding and what I was looking for, whether it be on an individual basis or a corporate basis, We see people banding it together. I mean, one thing I like about it, even though nobody wanted the pandemic, is like the whole world is focused on one thing. So there is a sense of unity in trying to defeat it and to work on it. But more importantly to me, I think that people now have a more profound appreciation of life. Okay, not so much that we were arrogant and not and taking it for granted, but this is kind of like a real wake up call for most of us. It certainly is for me that life is temporary and things are. I mean, look, our food supply chain was affected. Look at the economic effect of this pandemic. Okay, things that we take for granted. I mean, not in a bad way, but we just are so used to having the lifestyle that we're so lucky to have has been affected and can be affected as well. So I think that's I'm kind of like the glass half full type of guy
Mm.
all the time, and I try to remain positive and
That's the
positive mental.
that's the positive way to look at things, and it gives you that incentive to look forward to something new. I agree with you 100%. The glass, you look at it as half full, never half empty. And there is a lot of things. A lot of people in the industry, they doubt about how these things gonna revamp into the future. The club scene, maybe the mainstream is not really going to survive. The underground will, but this internet situation that we have on, if we are able to manipulate it correctly and make it work, it's like reinventing the wheel. We may be able to do something for the audience that are really starving, so to speak, for entertainment. And people like you, me, and a lot of people that's been producing shows, we can actually help that, all right, and bring the right way, the right entertainment to everybody. Um, you're doing absolute. This is the new way of looking into it, because I always say, next year, 2021, April, June, you're going to a club. If there are that many clubs, you're going to wonder who the person next to you is going to. It says, who is this person? It's a psychological thing. So the internet thing is definitely going to be a winner. If you are going to go forward with this, I will definitely. What is that do you have in your hand?
Or just a cane.
Why do you have a cane? You want to hit somebody with that cane or what?
Oh, it's kind of like normally just I have a few different canes and a hat, and it's just part of the sensationalism, and I'm kind of animated. When I do a show, I get up there and I just let myself go with the artist. Anyone that's been to any of my shows, I kind of I get up there, perform, I get choreography with some girls, whatever, and it's
Right.
just having a good time with these different things,
Beautiful,
and then
beautiful.
fine again. It's just kind of
I love that.
just kind of
I loved your
hey,
jacket.
just
I
happen
love
to
the
have
jacket. I love the jacket,
thank
Johnny. I mean, really.
you.
I mean, you're ready for Broadway. I love it.
I say that we're all role models to each other, right? As I said, it's so important to remember that we make impressions, and I think now, social distancing does not mean social isolation. As a matter of fact, it should mean the opposite now, especially in these times. Now's the time that you want to outreach and pick up the phone and call people that you haven't spoken to, or a relative, and just have just kind of uplifting conversations. I mean, there's just so much seriousness right now. I mean, if you watch TV, the news, things are so serious about this or the election or whatever. You know, we just need a little. I don't want to say break, but I think just a little levity, and and that's kind of like an inspiration for me to do what I'm doing. Okay, because I just want to create that space here and preserve that space for us just to have a good time. Unfortunately, I know you have that wonderful annual event that you threw that unfortunately because of COVID had to be postponed. That
That's
was so
just in New
it
York
was
City.
like so
Yeah,
many people.
that's just
Yeah,
in New York
I know.
City. I mean, we're looking forward to go back to Philadelphia, Boston, and San Francisco, and so on. And I've been blessed that when I asked these wonderful people that support us in our industry, they all come forward. And yes, I have that, and I have to right now kind of. That's what I'm doing right now with Legends of Vinyl. So Johnny, we are. I'm doing a little bit of a, shuffling everything around because in 2021, I need to present Legends of Vinyl as a brand new brand, and I'm looking forward to working with many people, including yourself. I'm sure that we can work something
I
out.
know I'm a fan, and I'm so looking forward to that occasion and what's going on in your think tank. And you're a revolutionary, and so you're definitely a champion for the industry. And I know there's a lot of exciting things going forward there with the Legends of Vinyl, and
Yeah.
I'm proud and flattered to be a small part of it.
No, you're a big part of it, man, Johnny. You came forward. You are the supporter, and we can't thank you enough for being there. Well, I called you many, many times, and I have always been so gracious to. I mean, so humble to actually get from you 100%. I never got from you anything less. So I want you to know, and I want everybody to know that Soho Johnny has been for the Legends of Vinyl a wonderful supporter from day one, and that's one of the reasons why I'm behind him like a cheerleader with pom poms on. I don't know where the frick my poms on are, but I'm going bricky bracker firecracker sees boom ba Soho
Right.
Johnny rah rah rah. But yeah, I do appreciate what everything you've done, and you recently you just placed an order that is on its way to you. Because of all of our little items that we have now, like the little L.O.V hat and the T-shirts and the banner and so
I
on.
love all of them.
And
I
you
think they're all
you
wonderful.
picked up,
As soon
you
as you announced it,
and Gail called up and says Johnny is ready to place an order. And guess what? Oh my Lord Jesus! Look at that. So I call Sue Bell, I call Ricky, and I say, hey, check it out. This is the order. Look at that. And thank you so much, Johnny, for doing that. I mean, Maron, let me tell you, the
I think it's wonderful.
distributors are taking a little bit of a time for me to, get all of the product together. The package is 99% ready to be on the way. So bear with me on that.
Well, I wanted, I was so anxious to get, my copies of the hats and the DJ billboard or whatever you've had. I think that's fantastic. They could be collector's items sometime in the future.
It could be.
How exciting to have that. So I encourage people to look into what you have, the merchandise. I think it's wonderful.
These juggies are wonderful. I mean, vinyl is still very dear to all of us because of analog and because of the memories and all of that. And we keep the tradition and we keep the legacy. And now, today, we are adding the legacy of Soho Johnny to the Legends of Vinyl. And that is something else because, a lot of people need to know a little bit more about your legacy. I know that you're a retail, no, a real estate person, but tell us a little bit more about who Soho Johnny is, how you became this wonderful person who not just do real estate but also go into the entertainment business. Those are two entities very opposite. I mean, real estate is real estate, but entertainment, hello, you know. So we want to know what makes Toho Johnny tick.
I think, tying a little bit back to what I was saying earlier, I got the moniker or the nickname Soho Johnny because my parents, excuse me, my dad's family, my grandfather, probably 100 years ago now, came to the Soho area and as poor immigrants and tried to make a living in Soho with a little cart, and I don't know what they were doing, cardboard or anything, making a few pennies here, whatever they could.
Yeah.
Uh, then my father's generation. He had a trucking business in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And I got involved, with myself and my younger brother Ron, and we were involved. Then we kind of got involved. Our father just got a start in real estate, and we had some properties. Not talking major big properties, but they were down in historic sections of like the Soho area, and we maintained a presence there all these years, going probably going on 4 generations now. And I've got the
Wow.
nickname SohoJohnny, and that's why I ended up naming my entertainment platform SohoJohnny.com. On YouTube now, it's on YouTube, Instagram, and everything. But and I think the seed of entertainment, I think, definitely came from my mom. She used to go professionally dancing, like on a stage, something like the Rockettes. I can't. I was too young, so I can't remember exactly. But when she passed, there was some things that she had in her apartment that I saw, just little mementos, and that she had from back in those days, and it was really wonderful. And she always. One thing about my parents, I mean, I just posted on my personal Facebook page, John Soho Johnny Pasquale. There's a Let Me Help Inc. page too, Facebook. Earlier today, a picture of them, and it's a picture before I was born.
Yeah.
And they were a strikingly good-looking couple, not because they're my parents, and you know, they would be very much, they would love to dance, they would love to step out. So in that humble beginning, I just being exposed to that, that's always, that kind of just that great for them. I mean, listen, I come from Italian descent, so during the holidays, we would always have so many friends over, people over, and it's just that basic seed. It's not reinventing the wheel, the origin
Right.
of Soul Johnny. And then I just wanted to entertain as I was a kid when I was younger, and it just grew and grew. And then I just became took it more seriously, and I started to do, as I said, more reunions, and then I got involved with charities, and now we have a record label, Soho Records, and Tribeca Tunes. Uh, we're doing some releases from some artists. We're very selective. We don't take just anybody. We're not looking to, like I said, maybe we may take somebody that's kind of has the raw talent, as a diamond in the rough, and maybe work with my, as I said, SMC group, and bring or catapult them there. But that's only a few, because you only could do a few of those. But we'll take a few artists and try to help them, or help them with with
That's a beautiful.
publicity.
That's a beautiful thing, Johnny, because it's all about the artist, and one of the reasons that I build this organization is because of the artists, the love and the appreciation that I have for them. There are a lot of artists right now that they're really standing by, not doing anything. As you well know, they are only surviving because they're performing. They're not getting any royalties and so on and so forth.
I
So
mean, there's a lot of artists. Yeah.
yeah, so we need to support them, and like from the internet, and everybody's downloading music instead of buying their music and so on. I am right in the front to tell people, purchase. And unfortunately, right now, since we're going through this, I appreciate what you are doing, to keeping the artists on your heart, and I like that. I like that. So yeah, I can tell you how much I'm on your side, when it comes down to that. So thank you so much. Johnny,
Well,
anything
thank you.
that would you like to say to your audience, because this is your legacy hour, whether you like it or not, you got into the legacy hour. How would you like people to remember you by?
Uh, I think if we look at SohoJohnny.com or anything, it's kind of like a linchpin, a link to unite, okay, in the spirit of entertainment and music, okay, and in the celebration of life. And we will always continue to strive to bring new and innovative ideas for entertainment, and also tie it to, bringing people together, and charitable causes will always have some element in that as well. So again, I encourage people to sign up for our email list, sohojohnny.com. Of course, we have our foundation. I mean, it's not our foundation; it's public foundation,
Yeah.
Let Me Help, comma Inc. or Let Me Help Inc.org, and a lot of interesting things. When you get, as I've gotten involved organically, it just grew on its own. I have doors open. I'm recording songs myself, which I'll be releasing soon. Stay tuned. Some acting, and it's just been an interesting journey. And if anybody out
What
there,
a man with
yeah,
many hats. I love that. Yeah, yeah, really. I can't wait to hear that one. I mean, Johnny, I need a copy of whatever it is that you're sending out. you know, please put it on vinyl,
absolutely,
okay? Put it on vinyl. Vinyl needs to be.
absolutely,
No, no,
definitely
this is.
vinyl.
I'm serious. Vinyl needs to prevail. Vinyl needs to make a. He's making a comeback anyways. So at
I
this
remember
time, yeah, go ahead.
the direct drive technique turntables back in the day, and used to getting the
yeah,
right needles and everything. And
yeah.
vinyl is. I'm so happy that there's been a resurgence in vinyl
Yeah,
records.
it's going up and
Even
up and up. And
nostalgia.
if you go to Europe, everybody is vinyl is king. Vinyl is it is what it is, and we in the United States, as we created all this culture, we dropped it. We really freaking made a mess out of it, and in the whole world is really enjoying what vinyl is all about. This jockeys everywhere in the world still enjoying that, but we have the digital and all of that kind of stuff, and it's okay, but it's not like analog. So
I would mention if there's anybody that has any suggestions for the foundation, info at letmehelpinc.org is an email. They can drop us an email. And I'm trying to remember what else and just to answer your earlier questions here. We have something exciting. Again, everything slowed down for COVID. Uh, Soho at Night is going to be a series that we're going to probably, looks like I may be hosting soon. That's going to be exciting. I don't want to talk too much about it, but it's going to involve a lot of different artists and kind of just bring people together as well. And again, I just feel like I'm so lucky to be involved with all this, and just by how you and I met, Lewis, with your events and everything. The people that you meet, and
yeah.
is part of what makes our journey in life much more significant, and I appreciate that.
Yes, 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 yes. Remember that very well. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Legacy Hour chat with our good friends John SohoJohnny Pasquale, who is definitely planning one of a kind concerts on November 24th. Please go to iConcert. I mean, it's going to be on iConcert.tv, but please go to letmehelpinc.org to learn a hell of a lot more about this particular event. And it's going to be on a Tuesday evening between 7 p.m. and 1 p.m. And I'm very thrilled, very happy that I have been able to just put my 2 cents into this. I hope that people have listened, people have heard you, and I'm very, very happy, Johnny, that you are part of this wonderful event for a good cause or causes in general for people to really grab this and follow. All right. So, Johnny, thank you from the bottom of my
We
heart.
thank you for your support, Lewis, so much. I'm a fan of yours, and and I think you're a
Same here.
champion. Again, I did 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard
And
Time, right?
I emphasize that because it's an international court. People will be viewing from Europe and different parts of the world, not just
And I
not
hope
just
that, this is just the beginning because this is, there's so much more to do. And I can't wait for me to just get on a plane and come to New York. It's been a while, obviously. And once everything comes down, we can come down. I would love to come and spend some time with
Oh,
you. Just kind of talking about
I
a
love
few
that.
ideas that I have. And they're coming forward, my friend. They really are. I mean, I get a lot of phone calls, and we are definitely are in a good place mentally and in a good place. Right now, we're maybe this weekend by tonight. Yes, by tonight, definitely. We are gonna hit 116,000 people. Maybe we already did. Let me see. Let me refresh the page, and let me see where we are. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed my pleasure to say thank you. We have 116,017 visitors on Visual Radio. Because of this conversation and because of Shorty early today, we already went over the 116,000. And Johnny, I'm celebrating because I'm telling you, I'm proving to everybody that when I put my mind to it, I mean, once again, I put my mind to it, I'm going to be successful at things. And this is proof. There's no lying. Numbers don't lie. And, we're definitely getting there. By the end of December, we're definitely going to be at 120,000. How about that? Okay, but
I,
that may not mean much to some people, but to me, it means a lot because this is just a very short time for me since I created this little thing.
and deservedly so, I might say, because I know how tireless you are
Yeah,
and how driven you are. I could
yeah.
speak firsthand about Lewis to all the listeners out, how driven he is for bringing the seed of entertainment and keeping the fan alive,
Thank
and
you.
recognizing all these artists and what he did with Legends of Vinyl. .com/, Visual Radio, which we're on right now. Just a lot of excitement in stored with the Legends of Vinyls organization. I, for one, am looking forward to it. But when you do these charity things and everything, I'll just mention this. You know, I can't help but think about the late great Jerry Lewis and how wonderful he was and
Oh my
tireless
God.
when he did his bonds for 48 hours, and
Oh,
at 4 o'clock in the morning, maybe Frank Sinatra will come in just to
you,
support him. He's
Johnny,
a
I gotta
crooner.
tell you a story, a little bit of the story. Back the last show for Jerry Lewis telethon, I put together a show for that show, and you can ask
Oh, that's
Pinky
great.
Velasquez about this. Now,
Will.
I went to New York and I put 22 acts, 22 in New Jersey for the Jerry Lewis Telethon MDA telethon. Well, I'm in New Jersey. I got the place. Everybody's ready. I had the show going, ready to start. And in Florida, my wife was waiting for me here in Florida. And a freaking hurricane came down.
Oh,
And I will never forget it. The whole thing was wiped out. The whole show was wiped out. And I got a call from my wife because when you have a hurricane, you have to empty everything from outside your house. You have to bring everything inside. And I called my wife and I said, do me a favor, just bring things in, what you can do. Well, I had this monster glass table outside, and she tried to take it down, and the glass broke because it was about a thick inch, 1 inch thick, and it dropped and it broke and it cut her leg all the way down. She ended up
wow.
going to the hospital and all of that. I was going crazy trying to get back to Florida. The person who got me on the last flight from New Jersey to Florida was Stacy, my friend Paul Casella's wife, got me on the last plane back, and I canceled the whole show. You couldn't do it. Now that hurricane went and ended up in New Jersey. Think about it. That hurricane went all the way up to New Jersey and devastated Staten Island and a whole bunch of areas over there, and he messed it up. That was my memory of being part of the Jerry Lewis MDA telethon, which I was going to be part of that. Can you believe that? I mean, it's a
Well,
sad
you
thing,
had
but
you had
yeah,
it may have been said, but you had noble intentions to participate and to support that cause, and
yeah,
I think it's cerebral palsy. But like when you do these things, like our event on November 24th, even if the followers of all these artists that are on it just gave a little money, their followers, it would be outstandingly successful, and it would be such a humbling
Well,
experience to have.
I
It
wish
would be
nothing but the best to you, my friend. And remember that we are behind you 100%. And everybody, please join Johnny and go there and try to help him out. We all will be watching and tune in into that day. And Johnny, please stay safe and be as cool as ever. I miss you and I'm looking forward to seeing you real soon, okay?
every day is a blessing and a gift, as we both know, Lewis. And again, thank you for having me tonight. And shout out to everyone out in the that's listening to this broadcast. And thank you again, Lewis, for the Legends of Vinyl visual radio broadcast. I think it's wonderful, and I'm not surprised how these numbers keep going up. It's such you've got great talent on, and all
One
these
thing
different
it,
artists.
it's very simple when you actually show people that you mean what you do, mean well. And it's just that real. So I'll talk to you soon, my friend. The best to you. Please stay safe. God bless you. All the best to you, brother. All right.
Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, remember, LOV is the message.